In three, two, one. Hey, welcome back to the show, Everything Under the Sun, where we talk about everything under the sun. Um, yeah, it's actually nighttime now. Pretty special recording time that we're doing. We never recorded at night.
Yeah,
Um,
we rarely.
but special recording time means special guest. So, I mean, today we got a man of many talents. We call him. Some call him born on a high place. Some refer to him as boss. But here today we have the man, the myth, the legend, Chris Yap. What's up, Chrissy?
Hey,
How you
hey
doing?
guys. Hi, I'm Chris. Everyone. Glad to be here. Yeah.
You want to tell us a bit more about yourself? What you do?
Um, wow, that's a very tough one. Every time when someone asks me that, I'm like, oh, how do I answer that? I'm Chris. I'm 26 this year. I just got married
Woo.
few months ago.
Congrats.
Married to my beautiful wife, Ruth Gregg. Shout out.
Ooh.
I work in church doing social media stuff. So from design, photos, videos. I mainly build a team and build a social media platform together for my day job. So on the side, I do quite a few things. I do fashion. I have a brand called Highborn.
Nice.
Yeah, Highborn, and I've been doing that for the past 5-6 years, I think.
Wow, that's a long time.
and
Yeah.
Yeah, and I recently got into trading, so I'm very passionate and excited for that as well.
Ooh.
Just always up to learn new things, and trading has been the MCO skill that I've been picking up.
Nice.
Is it
Yeah.
is it like you started trading that time when like everyone started getting to Bitcoin, is it?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I entered early lah. I mean, technically now it's still early, but I
Right.
only got into like just learning. I think the word would be financial literacy, and really like
Alright.
getting into yeah,
We-
Eddie knows what I'm talking about.
We the rich dad, poor dad gang.
Rich Dad Poor Dad. Yeah, I've been recently starting that book as well.
Yeah.
Incredible book. I feel
Hey,
like
it's pretty good Like
everyone
I read
needs
first
to read
chapter,
it.
right? It's pretty good stuff,
Yeah, like I think it's not just about money, it's like learning
Mm.
life.
Yeah.
But anyways, I got into investment just this year, and I recently just signed up for some courses, paying quite a bit for it. So it's like going back to school, bro.
Wow.
Right.
But it's
Lifelong learner.
yeah, but it's good, man. Like I'm learning so much, and I feel like I'm learning a skill for life. That
Mm.
yeah, because I know how to like read the charts and all that. But anyways, I digress.
Ah.
Mm.
Right.
Nice.
Cool. Wow, 6 years of highborn. That's a long time. That's like the same amount of time I've been in school. I mean, primary school.
Wow,
No,
if
it's
you
been
put it
like-
that way.
But yeah, man. Okay, let's just dive right into it, right? Like, how has your journey been like for like the past 6 years, like into doing, like pursuing your dreams? Would you say that? Would you think it's a? Would you say
Yeah.
it's a sort of a dream of yours?
Yeah, defo. Yeah, I know it's been a long time, man. I think I think sometimes I forget how long it's been also.
Mm.
But it's been huge, man. It's a lot, to be honest. I started when I was 20.
Mm.
Wow.
And now I'm 26 and I'm married.
Time
So
just
more
flies,
than
man.
just like, yeah, and more than
Yeah.
just business itself, I have transited into different phases of life as well. From like switching from teenage boy to like college boy, but now like married man. Oh my goodness.
Father to be soon?
Wow.
Sorry?
Father to be soon.
Man. Wow, slowly, bro. Give us a few years. We wanna enjoy this time. But
Yeah,
fingers
yeah.
crossed.
Wow. Sounds like you have your whole life planned for you.
Nope, I don't. I do not.
Right.
Actually, maybe you can
Right.
just tell us more about like highborn and like why or like how, like what's the thought process or what was the idea or the dream behind it.
Okay, I can just share a little bit of how it came about lah. For those who don't know what Highborn is essentially a clothing brand. So we do fashion, I guess. And how it started really was just a coincidence in some sense, cause basically I'm a psychology major actually. I studied psychology in uni, and I took a gap year. I interned in a production house. Yes, it has nothing to do with psychology at all.
Yeah.
And then I worked there for a year. So in the process, I I was tasked to find a manufacturer to create some company clothing, right?
Right.
So
Right.
long story short, I found a manufacturer that could do pretty good service, and they could do custom fits. And back then, long line tees were a thing, right?
Oh,
I remember
yeah.
those
Oh
times.
my gosh.
It was the thing.
It was.
It's
So
like the T would go all the way down to like your mid thigh region.
exactly, and like um and like I always felt that I cannot find shirts that fit the way I want them to. So yeah, from that, long story short, it just came to a point where we decided to start something, and so some funds were given to me to try something out. And long story short, yeah, that was the birth of Highborn. And how the name came about, honestly, I was just Googling for
Were you born on a high place? Like
uh,
Bukit Rimau or
Oh
something?
my goodness.
no man, it was born in my room in my parents' home beside the toilet,
Wow.
downstairs.
Wait, for real?
The best place to come up with ideas.
For reals, in
In
what
the
in what
toilet.
way? No, beside the toilet. It was a
Oh,
room
beside
beside
the
toilet. Yeah, I was actually just googling like what name works, what kind of name is good for a brand and all that. Basically, actually I came out with one that was really memorable, that really sticks with people, and super marketable, and it was Sweaty Donkeys.
Oh.
But that wasn't the kind of vibe that I had in mind for the brand, so I'm like, maybe not. Long story short, just came out with Highborn. Essentially, what it means is that it's royalty of noble birth, and I think it was really, it aligned with maybe something I had in my heart, and just what God has placed in my heart as well, in a sense where it's what we are called to do as Christians. I mean, I'm a believer, so I think the identity of royalty, that you are sons and daughters of the King. I just thought it was really powerful, and that became it.
Nice.
Cool. So like let's just go back to the idea of creating a brand and creating like something, right? Like, have you always been the type to create, or was it just like a spur of a moment thing that you decided, hey, this is something I actually kind of like doing?
No, man, I honestly didn't have much creative experiences, quote unquote creative, because I grew up in a very Asian household, and I was too stubborn to like pick up anything artsy. Like even like right now, like I regret so much that I was so stubborn in not listening to my parents for like to go to piano classes, because now I can't play for nuts. I was just really stubborn. So I really had not much creative exposure in that sense, up till I took that gap year in uni. And I think that 1 year of internship and part-time in the production studios behind the main thing, my journey really began there, and they are incredibly kind and generous people who have sown into me from the very beginning when I had nothing and knew nothing. I mean, the fact that they hired someone that has no like
a psych major, right? Like,
they
you
hired
have
a psych major.
You had no
No
like experience in production.
Yeah, and in my resume, I tell you, my work, quote unquote work, is like my Chinese New Year photo lah with my family, like some their cats lah, their dogs, that kind of
You
thing.
actually put that in your portfolio?
I actually put that in my
Yucks.
portfolio.
Oh my
bro. It's
goodness.
so bad.
Wow. Do you
But
think like
yeah,
if I did that, like they would hire me as an intern?
bro, there's only one way to find out. So I never thought I would get in also, but yeah, I think by the grace of God, just things aligned, and yeah, I think in that 1 year, it really was a defining turning point year in my life.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, no, I I have not always been someone that created art or just created stuff. I was that kid that just slept in class and played Dota and Maple till like 4 a.m. and go to school
Wow.
and sleep. Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. So I mean, okay, let's talk about, okay, you've mentioned that. Let's talk about your degree. You did a psych degree, right? And it's pretty sciencey, would you say? Like it's pretty like research heavy.
Technical lah.
It's a lot of like
Very technical.
data, right?
Yeah,
Um,
it can be. It can be.
Yeah. So like how did you decide, right? Like between because I feel like a lot of us in this time, like we're in uni and we're kind of going through like muddling through assignments, tests and all that, right? And at the end of the day, we just want to know like what is the, like, is there an end point to all of this that we're studying for? Like for myself, I'm doing business, right? And yeah, I mean the ultimate goal for my mom and for Asians lah, in a sense, is like you come out, you study what you want to study. I mean, you work as what you studied for, right?
Right.
It's like okay, if I study engineering, I come out I be an engineer. If I study medicine, I come out I be a doctor, right? I do business, I come out be businessman. I mean that's sort of train of thought, right? So like, I guess something that like what you did was pretty unorthodox in a way. It's like it's like not like you didn't work in the field of what you studied for,
Right.
So how did you make that choice, and was it like a very was it a very hard thing for your parents to accept as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. Because it was, yeah, very unorthodox in some sense, I guess. For me, really was. I mean, some people ask me if I regret not like studying film or like any art courses, but for me, I think it will always be a no. Like I don't regret studying psychology, because in the first place, if I didn't study psychology, I wouldn't have met a person that actually recommended me to work in the production company that I interned in. And if I didn't intern in that company, I wouldn't have like discovered this whole side of me, that kind of thing.
Yep.
But I think one very tough moment was when in that 1 year of gap year, I could have stayed on working, and I feel like at that point in time, I was gaining some momentum. I feel like I could go all the way, that kind of thing. And
working in the main thing and all that.
yeah,
right?
working in the meeting
Okay.
and the production industry and craft something out for myself, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just different when you go to work.
Yeah.
But long story short, my parents didn't really agree with that. They were like, you need to go back to school and all that. And for me, I guess in my own journey, I was just praying and seeking God about it. It was tough. I really wanted to stay on and go on, but but it seems like at that point in time, all circumstances pointed me back to continuing my studies, which actually was the harder thing to do, because my friends were all ahead of me. If I go back, I don't even remember anything I've studied in like year one. So I don't know anything about the course subject. I don't have any friends. So it was a really scary move to go back actually. But long story short, I did that anyways, and thankfully I met a bunch of really good friends that really helped me graduate, and I mean it literally. Yeah, because I really struggled. So but I think the process of actually my internship was supposed to be 4 months, and I extended to a year. So I think the struggle was actually wanting to extend to a year also. But yeah, I think we had a big fight with my parents. But it just came to a point where I had to share my heart with my mom and help them understand where I'm coming from. And yeah, actually now that I recall, the deal was to go back to school after 1 year. So I kind of had to keep my word at the end of it. So that was
Right,
part of the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hope that answers the question a little bit.
Yeah, definitely, man. So it's like so if I could just like add on to that, it's like multiple things in your journey kind of added up to where you are today, lah.
Yep.
It's not like I think it's not wanting to settle for the status quo. I
Yep.
think because for me personally, like I think some of you may know, I'm an A levels dropout. I dropped out of A levels after like a year, and then like it's been a pretty long journey for education wise. But I wouldn't say I regret it, lah. Like because I know like A levels is, you have like the stigma, or not really stigma. It's like a level of prestige, you know, like in Asian households when you do A levels, it's like, okay, my son has made it, or like, you know,
It's
my
like the
daughter has
standard,
made it
the
in life.
standard lah, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then so like I think I relate to that, because like when I dropped out of A levels, it was a very like, it was a big thing lah, like to my family, to my mom and everything. And I think but I think I wouldn't take away that 1 year of my life, because I think from that year of my life, it really just like it opened my eyes to a lot of different things that I didn't know I could do before. So like I was very involved in the CF. Like I did a lot of like I don't know, like just
Media stuff,
media and like stuff in that sort of respect. So
yeah.
it kind of opened my eyes lah to what I thought I could do, but I couldn't do, and what I didn't know I could do before, but I can do now. So I think I definitely relate to that, and I definitely
Yeah, which maybe sorry to interrupt, but
Yeah.
just going back to your thought of like right now for everyone listening, or even just ourselves, that you feel like every day you just need to wake up and like turn on your computer and like enter some Zoom call, like where is this gonna end? I feel it may, with what we've just said, maybe it just really comes back to finding the opportunities that is right in front of you. Just trying to find the gem and the purpose in the current season, that kind of thing. Which I guess it's a nice thing to say, but it's a different thing to do altogether. But the truth is that is the only way. That is the best thing you can do. Like besides that, what else are you gonna do? Just moan about it and just complain about it and finish 2 years of college and uni at home and just say, yeah, I did that hard, and be proud of that. I mean, life is just tough and rough, but
especially currently lah, in the situation that we're in, like having to stay home and like being confined.
But definitely not like discounting, you know, how tough it is. But the thing is that there is still so many things that we can actually do. Like even just having a phone and access to like internet, you're already counted as privilege. And there's just an infinite amount of things that you can pick up and like grow.
And just adding on to that, right? I would say that one thing I've really learned in this year of just doing uni online, or like whatever, like ever since the whole pandemic, I was like locked down, A levels was cancelled, and started uni online, finished it already, like year one lah, right? One thing I've really learned is that opportunities are really everywhere, that kind of thing. And I wouldn't see that I personally, for myself, I wouldn't want to see as stuck, you know. I want to see myself as like, I know it sounds cheesy and like church jargon, but like positioned at home, that kind of thing. And I just feel like one thing I've like back to what I said, one thing I really learned is that opportunities are really everywhere. Like what Chris said, you have a phone. There's a lot of things that you can actually learn online and can actually pick up, that kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
with trading, and like personally, I've also like learned how to trade during this season as well. And I feel like in terms of like chasing after your dreams or doing what you're passionate about, I feel like it really sometimes it really not it doesn't really depend on our circumstance, although sometimes that's the case, but more so it's more about us trying to sort of make time for what we really love lah. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, totally. That makes total sense. But
Yeah.
so like, okay, we've talked about like a lot of things about that. But what's the thing? What's the one thing, or like, what are a few things that you've done, like during this whole like MCO and extended lockdown kind of time? Like I know Chris, you've been painting.
What is the one thing that I've been doing? Is that what
I
your
mean,
question?
what are a few things that you've been learning to do, like during this lockdown, like this
Oh,
extended period of time?
well, um, uh, I mean, if you're talking about specific thing, yeah, there are quite a few things I've just randomly tried. Just like everyone, make dalgona coffee. bake, bake,
Wait, again? I thought that
bake.
was last year.
Yeah, I actually did it again.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
And like, then get your luck of it, and then just say that you won't do it again, and then just repeat that the next week. Um, um, yeah, I mean, big banana bread, that kind of thing. I mean, there are quite a few things like painting, and just trying different things. I mean, even for us, we got married and like moved into our own home, so definitely a ton load of
Wow.
new
Yeah,
stuff that
yeah.
we've just been
definitely.
trying. I mean, if you're talking
How's
about
that? How's that moving process been? Like moving into a new house in the middle
bro,
of a pandemic.
it's troublesome, man. I think even just getting married. If you have maybe some older friends, you would know, like those who are trying to get married now. Wow, bro, it's a struggle. The
Mm.
uncertainty is so painful. Especially for weddings, because I think we were so glad that we just got married right before the third lockdown or fourth lockdown.
Right,
God
right.
knows.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
3.0.
because there's a lot at stake, because when you need to make such a big change, you have like money involved, you have like
Mm.
a whole village of uncle, auntie, your family and your
Yeah.
friends just organizing wedding, and on top of that,
Mm.
putting up a wedding itself, like all the admin stuff and all the coordinating. It's
yeah.
huge, man. And even more so if you're someone that has like, oh, my wedding, it needs to be a certain way, I want to wear this, it need to look like this, and all
Go
this
on
kind
lah.
of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so honestly, if there's any key thing I really learned in the pandemic, that I'll take on with me is learning to be open, learning to be
Mm.
open to changes. I don't want to be cheesy and like say like you need to change and all that, but I think just the small step of being open with like changes.
Right.
Because when you be in that space, right, you essentially need to come to a place where you acknowledge that actually I may not know the best way.
Mm.
And I think this applies in like your career, your work, your relationship, and all that kind of stuff. Because when something doesn't go your way,
Right.
then after being sad and then grieving
Mm.
about it, you can then think, oh, actually, okay, maybe I should take another way then. And
Mm.
I think that's one form of actually opportunity for you to like
Mm.
try something else. And in my opinion, I see it as God's grace in my life also for like placing me somewhere else so that I could step on this instead, that kind of thing. Yeah, I think that would be it, to be open lah. And if I could add also, is that one thing that really was a small turning point for me was going bald in 2020.
Wow.
Yeah, cause pandemic, right? Cut hair, right? So just at home, like all cooked up, just shave your own hair. And I did that, and I feel like when I did that, I was almost naked, and a big part of myself
Wow.
was being shaved off.
Wait, did you do it before your marriage or after?
Yeah, before.
Way before lah, I think.
before.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
last year.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what,
yeah, I remember now.
Even though she will say no. Yeah, and that actually was quite a turning point for me, and in being more open, because I don't know, it was quite prophetic in a way that it was taking a huge weight off like me thinking I need to be a certain person because I've looked this way for the longest of time, so I am this way, I will become this way. But when I shaved off, it was like, oh, okay,
Shucks.
how should I be like now? It suddenly got like new opportunities, kind of thing. Yeah.
Fresh ideas into your head, right? Because no hair to buffer the thoughts.
Dude, I feel
That
like
was-
I feel like you're speaking to me, man. Cause like for forever I've been like rocking the same hairstyle and everything, and my mom has been asking me to like just try shaving bald, you know, cause like
since
I don't
Form
know.
1, dude. I know. Since you were in primary school, dude.
ever since I
You've
met
been
you, lah,
rocking
bro.
that-
Actually,
Yeah.
I look the same. I didn't change.
Cause if you
It's-
think about it, what is there to lose? And if
Oh, no, lah, I just feel so
like
weird.
next time in like 10, 20 years time,
Yeah.
you can think back, oh, I've tried it and I know
Oh,
that it doesn't really work or how it feels like.
Yeah.
But if you haven't tried it, it will always be a question mark that is just like haunting you.
No lah, bro. But like I
Um,
can picture myself bald, right? And cause I'm skinny, right?
Nah.
And like my head is small, so you know, so I look like a monk, bro.
Are you saying
No
are you
joke,
saying fat people can't picture themselves bald?
Huh? No, that's not what I'm
Why
saying.
you have to mention you're skinny?
No, I'm saying that. No, I'm saying that when I picture myself, I know that I'm skinny. I know that my head is small. So if I sort of like artificially in my head take off my hair and like picture myself like in robes or something, I legit look like a Shaolin monk. I'm not even kidding.
So
Like honestly,
this is where
Why would
where
you
you
be-
know, theory is one thing when it's a practical is another thing, bro. Cannot compare.
well,
But why
one
would
day,
you
one
be
day.
in robes? What kind of situation would warrant you to be in robes?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud lah. Okay, maybe if we
Yeah.
reach like 1,000 subs, then I'll do it. Okay, so smash the subscribe
Go
button.
bald.
I'm kidding, but yeah.
Smash the subscribe button. Yeah, maybe we'll all go bald at 1,000 subs. You know,
Bro, yeah, sure. It'll be monetized by
yeah,
then already.
you,
lah,
me,
so-
Adrian,
Yeah, can.
all together.
Sure.
Yeah.
One big happy family.
Yeah, let's talk about motivation for a second. I mean, how okay, Chris, how do you feel about the term motivation? I know you read a lot of like self-help books and like books that are more on lifestyle and like habits and all, right? Like, especially in a place and time where we need to stick to a routine. I mean, when our daily routines are like kind of stripped away, like
Mm.
how do you balance that like lethargy and motivation?
Well, I'll start by saying that I'm actually a very, very, very lazy person. Yeah,
Same.
I'm very lazy. But I think because of that, I mean, lazy by nature. Okay, I don't want to say I'm lazy. I'm just lazy by nature. So
Mm.
I always find shortcuts and like just more effective ways of doing things.
Mm.
That's a good
So I
thing.
guess yeah, I guess so. But when it comes to see like if it's stuff like things you really don't care about, like your studies, for me like was different world altogether. I really
Yeah.
struggled.
Mm.
But I guess in my pursuit of like stuff at work and things I feel called to do, it was more of I know I needed to do this. How can I get that kind of thing? So I guess
Mm.
motivation wise, it's good. Sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't. But
Mm.
in my journey, I've just learned that motivation is very limited lah. Something more sustainable is really your less sexy stuff, your mundane things, like your day to day, how you wake up, your morning routine, and like how you structure your day, how you spend your time, how you manage your energy, all these kind of things,
Mm.
which is honestly the boring stuff that no one wants to no one wants to talk about, no one wants to
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
really get into. But essentially these are the things that will actually get you the progress that you actually want, compared to just some nice words that will get you going for like a day or two. And then Yeah, I mean that's what I think lah, and more so I guess in this pandemic is more evident because what motivation is there? Like there's no there's not much motivation for you guys. Just look at the news given to you
Yeah.
every day.
Every
But
day,
yeah,
like 5-digit cases, right? Every day.
yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
It's like
I
consistent.
I stopped keeping track already, and I make it a point to
Yeah.
like stop resharing them because it helps me with my frustration. But honestly, I don't feel any better just doing it.
Yeah.
True,
But
true.
but yeah, I was just saying that if you establish, I guess, a new kind of routine and structure in life for this season of being stuck at home in that sense, or I don't want to use the word stuck at home for needing to be at home,
Right.
then I guess you will do way better than just riding on your motivation itself lah. It may not be fully the answer because there's still many factors, but definitely it's still better than just riding on motivations lah. In my opinion.
Because
Yeah.
motivation runs out very quickly lah. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
and I feel like going back to like the mundane tasks and everything, and I just feel like it's more like the little things in life right now lah. They will sort of like what Chris said lah, push us to progress lah, really, from where we are now to where we want to be. And like just coming back to the whole idea of like passion and what you're passionate about, I feel like a lot of times people, I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast before, I feel like we have, but like I don't know, what I wanted to say was that like a lot of times people, they say they're passionate about something and actually they really are, but they just aren't willing to put in the effort. I don't know about you guys, do you know like people like that who just like, oh, I'm really passionate about like drawing or like painting or whatever lah, right? And they're actually pretty good at it, but their problem is sort of like not willing to put in the effort lah, and sort of just and I feel like what Chris said was really true. Like I feel like people like that, they sort of are riding on their motivation more and sort of like riding on that wave of like you know how when you start something new you have the like wave of like excitement, like whoa, I'm gonna get this bread and that kind of thing. And then sort of like when you reach a certain point, you sort of like the excitement dies off and the grind sort of like starts, and that's where like, you know, the rubber meets the road, that kind of thing, where you sort of have to like continue pushing yourself if you really want to sort of like excel in that particular area or that particular thing that you're passionate about lah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. And
if-
sorry, I was gonna just say that that if I guess it comes back to if you want to do anything that is impactful or meaningful, motivation probably won't be enough to get you there. Because I've been reading this new book called Deep Work or something like that. And I guess when you want to do something that has a deeper impact, that lasts longer than just like a Instagram stories kind of like energy, or like, you know, just the lifespan of the impact of your work, you will need more than motivation lah.
Sure.
Yeah lor.
I think something you said really like stuck with me, Eddie, because I feel like when I don't know if you guys noticed, but there was a time where I started like sewing, and I wanted to like take.
I'm still waiting
I
on
wanna
my
take pants.
on my what
I
pen
wanted
bag.
to-
I'm
I
still waiting
wanted
on
to
that.
take pen bags to the moon.
Yeah.
But like after a while, right, it just fizzled out lah. Like I feel like the motivation, like going back to motivation and all that, right? I think that time, I was kind of hyped up for that one project that I sort of, I don't know, it just didn't really last. Like the passion was there, but it was like, it's just something that I wanted to do for that period of time. Like moving forward is like, I look back at it and I feel like, I don't know, like maybe it wasn't that great of an idea.
Actually, right, I just want to ask you guys on your opinions about it, right? If a person sort of says they're passionate, like back on like what Isaac mentioned about his past experience with the pen bag and everything, and I have money into that business venture, you know, but so far it's not giving me any returns on my investment. No, I'm kidding. But like,
Wait,
yeah.
what? You never
No, no.
you never give me anything.
yeah, I'm kidding. But like, no, what I'm trying to say is that, do you think if a person says they're passionate about something, but their passion or their motivation only lasts for 1 or 2 months, and they sort of forget about it? I'm not targeting you, Isaac, but like, do you think it's safe to say that the person really wasn't passionate about that particular thing or project in the first place. Like, what do you guys think?
What do you think, Isaac?
I'm
think-
not targeting you, but it's just
No, definitely. I totally get where you're coming from. But I think for me, if I there's no real answer for that. I feel, because
True
I
lah.
think it's something that I don't know. It was like I entertained the thought for a while, but it didn't really come into fruition. Because of the situation that I was in. I think I was rushing with a lot of work, like studies and all. So like I didn't really have the time to do it. B is that I guess when I was free, I just had other things to do. Yeah, I guess I was lazy in that sense. Like I didn't really work on it, and I didn't really like think about it. I thought about it. I drew it out. I drew plans for it, but it just never really took off. So like
right.
I don't know. Like I would say that it's not that you're not really passionate for it. Like you're definitely passionate. Like the passion definitely will be there at the beginning stages.
Right.
It's just that when time and when other factors kick in, it's just like I don't know. It's like I got better things to do, and sometimes that idea just stays an idea and it doesn't come into like the prototype stages. It doesn't become an actual product. So yeah, I would say that no. The easy answer is no. You're definitely passionate about it, but it's just a lot of different things that come in that I wouldn't say distract, but it kind of
Stifle.
distracts you.
But
Yeah,
like,
something like that.
Yeah, I think maybe we confuse passion with
excitement.
yeah, because I think maybe just to redefine passion, in my opinion, passion is essentially something that you are willing to sacrifice towards. Something you are willing to suffer
Right.
through. Yeah, I think that's how I define passion. That it's something that you're willing to suffer through,
True.
and not just a feeling of excitement and like just being hyped up doing something, because what we just mentioned, it fades off really fast. And I guess if with that thought, that then it's more the question that comes after that is more of, okay, how do I get this passion going and
Right.
for a substantial amount of time, and not just have it like be a 1 month thing, or like next thing it's gone. And I guess this is where all the boring stuff comes in, setting up a structure, having a good foundation,
Schedule, timetable.
foundations, not just in the business itself or the art form itself, but just in your own life. Life is meant to make you busy and like rob time away from you, but how are you gonna counter that by like setting foundational things in place, where how you manage your time, energy, money, and all your resources given to you, and that you can continue to do what you really want. And I think maybe this is where also we go to church together, maybe in the same CG together, right? That I think that's where I'm thankful for my community also, because it's not that like I sometimes don't want to like go to church, or like don't want to worship God, that kind of thing, but it's just more of like you will have moments where you're not feeling it, but going back to what Eddie said in terms of positioning yourself, I think this is where you need the foundations and structure of things to help you set yourself up to win. And this is where you have a good community, you have all these foundational stuff.
Wow.
Right. I feel like just going back to, I don't know, the main thing we wanted to discuss about in this podcast, about like passion versus like profession, that kind of thing. I don't know, like I just feel like maybe what we've just discussed about how passion or like the initial excitement fades really quickly is the reason why for a lot of people, their true passion and their actual profession remains like separate, you know, that kind of thing.
Mm.
And I don't know
Mm.
whether it's the motivation behind it, like like for your profession or for your job lah, right? Your 9 to 5 job, you're motivated you motivated or you stay in your job for like the money lah, right, and the income because you need to survive, that kind of thing. And like
Right.
I don't know, I keep asking myself why is it so hard for people, especially like maybe people like us, like people who are like in uni students who are actually truly passionate about something but choosing another course to study. You guys get where I'm coming from, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
why is it so hard for us to like
I think to answer
know,
it simply,
yeah.
just right off my head, is that because it's just the easier way. I mean,
Mm.
if for those who are have read Rich Dad Poor Dad, I mean that's what
Yeah,
he
yeah,
says,
true,
right?
true.
Like we
Yeah.
are stuck in the
Rat
rat race and like, you know, all these different
Rat
things. It's just
race.
because it's the easier way, and because if you choose the other way, there are so much struggles and sufferings that you need to go through, and even just and I think going back to the key thing that I mentioned, I'm
Yeah.
learning is really to be open. Before you can even learn, right, you
Mm.
need to be open to like want to learn. You need to
Mm.
be in a place where you are even humble enough to think that actually I don't know enough.
Mm.
I need to learn. I want to learn.
Yeah.
And as you learn also, maybe starting is like, wow, yes, this is great, but just like any other craft in the world,
Mm.
you will get to a point where the level of difficulty is so hard. Essentially your ceiling is now your floor, that kind of thing. Where like when you just level up to get to that last 30% of like expert level,
Master.
it takes a different level, mastery of a craft. It's a different level of commitment
Correct,
to
correct.
learn.
Yeah.
And I guess this is where people just it's easier lah to just do a job that like pays the bill, and like maybe you have zero interest or passion about, and
Yeah.
then just do your other stuff on the side as a hobby, that kind of thing. Which
Yeah.
is just nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have to say though, in like a 9 to 5 job, that kind of thing, I mean, I haven't worked before lah, but I can see, especially from most adults who are stuck in the rat race, they have more motivation, you know, to work at a job that they actually don't like, cause of the money involved.
I guess
that kind of
because
thing lah.
like they're at
you
a
know.
point in
So-
life where they realize
I don't
like what they realize what they need lah. Like money is really everything in life. Like it's the sad truth lah that money truly governs the world lah. Like it's something that's inevitable, and it's something that you kind of need to go on in life essentially. Yeah, but I think to reiterate what Chris said, like passion is basically something that you're willing to sacrifice for. So I would say like if like going back to what Eddie asked just now, like why do people still stay in that? It's like because it's basically because they're not willing to sacrifice for it. So maybe it's
And maybe I'll say this also, that it's essentially needing to choose your fear also, because one is, you know, fear of not having money, which is very normal. Like it's very okay.
it's
right?
very
'Cause
real. It's very real.
yeah, it's very
I would
real.
say.
It's a huge thing. But for me, is that as I acknowledge that, even more so now moving to like marriage and starting my own family, I acknowledge that I know how real money is.
Yeah.
I guess maybe I am way more privileged than a lot of people, so I am thankful for that, right? But another fear that I am even more fearful of is just being stuck in something that I don't like, needing to wake up to live a life that I hate, that I find no purpose in. I think that's actually my bigger fear that motivates me to like, I guess, learn and improve and grow, because I'm scared of no money, but like I'm even more scared to wake up living but dead, alive but dead.
The Walking Dead.
You get what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Eddie, you're back. Welcome
Yeah.
back.
I just died for a second. I don't know why my laptop just like suddenly. But it happens.
All good, bro.
Yeah. But yeah.
But
I
yeah,
don't know if yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
yeah. Go ahead. I've been talking for a long time.
No, I was just saying that before I got cut off. I don't know if you guys heard what I said. That like I just find it very funny that like people working a 9 to 5 have more motivation, or like I don't know, they're just more motivated than people who are actually like most people with their passion, that kind of thing. You know, people are more motivated to like work at a boring 9 to 5 than they are with pursuing their actual dreams and goals, that kind of thing. Which I guess it ties back to what Chris said about how we are like stuck in a rat race, and it's just something that society has sort of conditioned us to be, if I were to put it that way. You know?
Yep.
Hmm.
Wow. I think that's a good place to wrap it up. We've been talking for quite a long time, and yeah, pretty good ideas all around. Good talk. So I think if there was one thing that we could, that like just to end it off with, like, what would you like to say as a last word, Eddie? Anything?
Closing words.
Closing words.
I would say never be afraid to try something new. You know, don't be afraid with the idea of it being so difficult, you know, but sort of like, yeah, just give it a try. You know,
Yeah.
more often than not, it's not as hard as it looks lah. I don't know why I said that, but yeah.
Great. Chris, any thoughts?
I will say be an amateur in life. I'm stealing this idea from this book called Show Your Work by I think Austin Kleon. But essentially, be an amateur in life, in whatever thing that you do. I feel when you do that, it takes off the pressure of needing to feel like you need to know what to do. You need to know who you're supposed to be and all that kind of stuff. Which I feel like that's the box that keeps us stuck in a certain version of ourselves. But the truth actually is that we don't really know fully of ourselves, and we're in the process of discovering that. So like let's not, I don't think we need to try to put up a front and acting like we have the answers, because if there's anything the pandemic has taught us is that no one has the answers. Yeah, so be an amateur in life, and I think with like what Eddie said, life, then you can discover and learn so much more things, and life is great that way. Really, shave your head. Yeah.
Okay, Chris.
Yeah.
Wait, Chris. I'm interested to know this lah, right? Do you have like a top 3 book recommendation? Like the top 3 books that you have read so far, you know, that has sort of like changed your life. I wouldn't say change your life lah, but like learned a lot from it. Bible doesn't count, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean Bible is number 0. Another book is this is more of a faith book, rooted by, it's called Rooted lah, by this guy called Benning Lipshire. He's a senior pastor of Jesus Culture Church. Another book would be Show Your Work is a good one. I mean, just because it's in my head right now. Maybe Rich Dad Poor Dad also, I will highly recommend that. Nice. just because these are more fresher in my head. Yep.
Nice.
Great. So I guess that's a good place to end.
Sorry to interrupt. Atomic Habits, you have to read that.
I heard about
Habits.
it. Yeah.
I have it saved in my e-library.
It's a must read. Okay, sorry to interrupt. Go on.
Yeah, but I think that's a good place to end it. Shave your head. And
Thank you.
don't be afraid to try new things, I guess. But yeah, I think that's about it for this week. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe. It means a lot to us. And you can follow Chris at all the links that we've provided below in the description box at I am Chris Yap on Instagram. And that's about it. See you guys next week.
Thank you so much for watching.
Peace out.
Ciao. Bye bye.
Peace.